Welcome to Blue Marble Geographics Ask the Experts. I'm Rachel Landry, and today I'm joined by my colleague Amanda Lind, an application specialist here at the company. Today, Amanda will be walking us through a workflow on how to view data in the path profile with 3D Cutaway. All right, Amanda, take it away.
Thanks, Rachel. For today's demonstration, I've brought up a USGS 1-meter TIFF of Mount Katahdin here in Maine. As a reminder, with a 3D path profile cutaway, you need to use a gridded elevation layer such as this. LiDAR data or other 3D vector data may not display as you would like it to. So for starters, I'm going to come up here and open the 3D viewer tool up from the top bar. This is a dockable tool, so I'm going to grab the very top bar of the window and pull it over here to the gray arrow on the side. And this is going to dock the 3D viewer side by side with the 2D viewer so we can display them side by side and compare the two views. To open the path profile tool, I'm going to come up again to the top bar and click on this mountain with stripes across the top of it. This is going to change my mouse and let me draw the profile line that I would like to see the 3D transect of. So I'm going to left click in one point, pull my mouse across wherever I want the line to go, and to end, I'm going to right click. This opens the path profile tool. Now this tool is also dockable, so I'm going to grab it and dock it so we can compare these three windows. Now, we can see by default that the path profile line has just been draped across the 3D view here. We can see that it matches the 2D viewer, and here in the path profile tool, by default, we can just see the 2D transect. As I move my mouse across the top of the line here, you can see it reflected in the 2D view as a little red cross as it goes down the line. And this is just a side profile view. Now, if we wanted to see this side profile view in the 3D viewer, we can do that by opening the Path Profile Settings tool here from within the Path Profile tool. In the Path Profile Settings, there are 3D display options here in the bottom left corner. The default, as we can see, is to render the path profile only, and that's just to draw the 2D line draped across the landscape. The second option that we can use is to render a single terrain cutaway. So I'm going to choose that option from the drop down, and I'm going to hit click OK. And what this does in the 3D viewer, I'm going to pull this down a little bit so we can see it a bit more clearly, is it renders half of the data in the 3D viewer away so we can see just the side. And as we scroll in a little bit, we can see that this profile in the 3D viewer matches the profile in the 2D viewer. If we want to switch to the other side, all we have to do is change our perspective, and it cuts away the other half of the mountain, and we can see the other perspective. It just switches back and forth based on your perspective within the 3D viewer. Now, another option, back in the path profile settings, is this little checkbox down here that's automatically checked. It says, to display path profile cutaway walls in 3D. That's referring to the graph that matches the 2D graph, the green graph here. So if we uncheck this box and click apply, then we're left with the same data, we just don't have the sidewall. I'm going to turn that back on. Now, for the last option, we can render the 4-way terrain cutaway. And what this tool is going to do is it's going to render just the section that's been selected by the path profile tool. Now, the default distance from path is set to 5 meters, and because we're looking at about 7 kilometers of data, when I click OK, we're not going to see very much data. We're just going to see a tiny little sliver of elevation. So to make this more useful, I'm going to change this to 1,000 meters. This is just the distance from path setting. And click apply. And now we can see in the 3D viewer, we can see 1,000 meters from either side of the path profile tool. And we can see that all of the edges have been boxed in with the graph. This tool is useful for a more in-depth visual analysis of the path profile tool, and it's really cool.
Amanda, thank you so much for showing us this workflow. For more information on Global Mapper, please visit bluemarblegeo.com today. And as always, thank you for joining us for Ask the Experts, and be sure to stay tuned for our next episode.